Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're getting cozy with dushbeer, tiny dumplings packed with warmth and family tradition. They're small, but each one is packed with history, care, and the kind of flavor that instantly makes you feel cozy and connected to the ones who made them before you. If you're curious to explore dushbeer with us, hit that subscribe button. Come along and uncover more recipes, traditions, and heartwarming kitchen tales. My wife is starting on the filling for our beloved dushbeer, a family favorite that's been handed down through generations. These tiny dumplings aren't just food, they bring warmth, comfort, and happiness to every meal. Dushbeer has its roots in the Caucasus, where it was traditionally made for special occasions. Simple ingredients like meat, vegetables, and spices were transformed into something festive and full of flavor. Back then, these dumplings were often prepared for celebrations, weddings, holidays, or family gatherings. Each little fold symbolized care, teamwork, and the bond between family members. I can still remember sitting beside my grandmother as a child, watching her fill each dumpling with precision. My tiny hands produced uneven little pockets, yet she always laughed and praised my efforts, making the experience unforgettable. Every family has its own twist on the filling, sometimes lamb, sometimes beef, always blended with onions, herbs, and spices. Each variation tells a unique story and adds a personal touch to the dish. In some regions, serving duschbeer to guests was a sign of true hospitality. Offering a bowl of steaming dumplings showed generosity and made visitors feel genuinely welcome. Duschbeer wasn't just a home-cooked meal. Travelers and merchants in the Caucasus loved it as a hearty, portable food, proving its practicality and cultural importance. I used to sneak a few raw dumplings as a child, hiding them behind the stove. Grandma always caught me, laughed, and let me eat them. Little memories that made it even more special. Following the old family tradition, I'm brewing a fresh pot of tea while my wife works on the dumplings. This ritual goes back to our childhood. Watching our parents cook, they'd brew tea and sit together, chatting as the food cooked, a small tradition that made the kitchen feel alive. Now my wife is making the dough. Getting it right is key, soft but strong enough so the little dumplings hold together while boiling. I remember my first attempt at kneading dough as a kid. Flour everywhere, sticky hands, and Grandma laughing while showing me the trick to perfect consistency. Patience was everything. One tip she always gives: let the dough rest 20 minutes before rolling. It makes it easier to roll thin sheets without shrinking. In the Caucasus, it was common for families to prepare massive batches of dushbir dough, enough to feed extended families or even gatherings of neighbors. Making the dough was a shared activity that strengthened family ties, passed down culinary skills, and created memories that lasted a lifetime. The tiny folds on each dumpling aren't random, they're steeped in tradition. Many believe that every delicate fold represents unity, protection, and a bit of love folded into the dish itself. Just look at these little dumplings. They're so small, delicate, and perfectly formed. Seeing them neatly lined up always brings a smile to my face, knowing how much effort, patience, and love went into shaping each one by hand. The broth is finally ready, and today our dushbir will be served floating in this rich, flavorful liquid. This method adds another layer of warmth and comfort, turning the meal into a cozy, heartwarming experience for anyone sitting at the table. Traditionally in the Caucasus, dushbir was served in piping hot broth during the colder months. The hot liquid keeps the tiny dumplings soft, while infusing them with deep, aromatic flavors from the meat, herbs, and spices simmering alongside them. Serving dushbir in broth also had a practical purpose. A small number of dumplings could be transformed into a satisfying, filling dish by letting them float in a savory, nourishing liquid. It was a clever way to feed a whole family with less effort. I can still remember watching my grandmother prepare it this way. The rich aroma of simmering meat and fresh herbs would fill the kitchen, and we'd sit at the table, eagerly waiting to scoop up the dumplings and taste them with wide-eyed excitement. Cooking. Dushbeer in broth not only enhances the flavor but also keeps each dumpling perfectly tender and juicy. Every bite is a balance of soft filling and seasoned liquid, creating a comforting, flavorful mouthful. And now it's finally ready. The smell is absolutely irresistible, rich, savory, and so inviting. Just looking at the steaming bowls makes my mouth water, and I can't wait to taste each dumpling and savor all the layers of flavor. A simple way to elevate dushbeer is to add a spoonful of yogurt or sour cream. It gives a creamy, tangy contrast that perfectly complements the delicate dumplings and flavorful broth, instantly taking the dish to the next level. If you enjoyed joining us on this dushbeer journey, don't forget to subscribe. Come along with us to explore more family recipes, hidden traditions, and small, heartwarming stories that make every meal feel special. Today, we are diving into the sweet world of figs. I remember my grandmother's kitchen, the smell of fresh figs simmering into a golden jam. Every spoonful carried her warmth and love. Fig jam isn't just a treat, it's a story of family, patience, and summer afternoons.
Cuckoo, gezwameld, cuckoo. Mexer, maar mexer fica daí.
Did you know that figs are one of the oldest cultivated fruits in the world? Walking through a fig orchard always reminds me of my childhood, running between the trees with sticky fingers and a basket swinging at my side. Fig trees have a secret life too. They attract tiny pollinators called fig wasps. Without them, the fruit wouldn't exist. It's fascinating how nature and humans have been connected through this fruit for thousands of years. I remember one summer when my grandfather took me to help in his orchard. He taught me how to tell the perfect fig by touch and smell. He said, "A fig should feel like it remembers the sun." If you enjoy this little journey into fig harvesting and family memories, don't forget to subscribe and join me for more stories and recipes straight from the heart. Your support keeps these traditions alive. Look at all this fig we've gathered. It's amazing how much nature can give in just one morning. Holding these baskets makes me think of summers spent in the orchard with family. But first, my wife and I need to feed our ducks. They've been waiting patiently and are clearly hungry. There's something so calming about watching them waddle around, quacking happily. Did you know ducks have waterproof feathers? That's why they can splash around in water all day without getting cold. I love seeing them dive and surface. It's like a little water ballet in our backyard. Ducks are also surprisingly smart. They can recognize faces and remember routines. Every morning they greet us by the pond, as if saying, "Good morning, don't forget breakfast." My wife is gathering fresh flowers. She loves having them in the kitchen while she cooks. It fills the space with color, fragrance, and a little bit of joy in every corner. Now it's finally time to turn our beautiful figs into jam. Did you know that fig jam has been cherished for thousands of years? Ancient Egyptians considered figs a sacred fruit, using them in rituals and as a symbol of prosperity. In Greece, figs were a staple of the diet for centuries. They were often dried to preserve them through winter, and making jam was a way to enjoy the sweetness long after harvest. My grandmother used to tell me stories of her childhood, sneaking a spoonful straight from the pot. Fig jam also has a rich history in the Mediterranean and Middle East. It was prized not only for its flavor, but for its medicinal qualities. People believed it helped digestion and even boosted vitality. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We share behind-the-scenes moments, kitchen stories, and little tips to make your cooking more joyful. Join our foodie family. The process itself is simple, yet mesmerizing. Figs are chopped, sugar is added, and a splash of lemon brightens the flavor. As the mixture simmers, it transforms into a thick, glossy jam, almost like liquid sunshine. In old cookbooks, you can find fig jam recipes from the 18th and 19th centuries, each with its own regional twist. Some add spices like cinnamon or clove, others incorporate nuts. It's amazing how one fruit can inspire so many variations. My grandmother always said, "Cooking is love made visible." Watching the jam bubble and thicken, you can feel the care in every stir, the patience in waiting, and the joy in anticipating the first taste. Fun fact, figs are actually inverted flowers. It's incredible to think that this unusual fruit with its hidden blooms has been turning into sweet spreads for millennia, connecting families across continents. Historically, making jam was also a method of preservation. Before refrigerators, families relied on sugar and careful cooking to store fruits. Fig jam jars would last through winter, bringing sunshine and sweetness to dark, cold months. I remember one summer when I helped my grandmother make fig jam. We would taste each batch, adjusting the sugar, laughing at tiny mistakes, and somehow those moments felt more important than the jam itself. In some cultures, fig jam was even given as a gift, symbolizing hospitality and warmth. Sharing a jar with neighbors or friends was like sharing a story, a little piece of your home. Now my wife is preparing the jars, carefully washing and drying them before pouring in the golden fig jam. It's a delicate step, but it makes all the difference for long-lasting sweetness. A little life hack. Sterilize your jars in the oven at 120 for 15 minutes before filling. It keeps the jam fresh longer and prevents any unwanted surprises during storage. She pours the jam slowly, watching it fill each jar like liquid sunshine. There's a certain joy in seeing your hard work preserved, knowing it will be enjoyed for months to come. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching. It's been wonderful sharing this fig jam journey with you. Don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for more kitchen stories, recipes, and family moments. Now it's our favorite part. We'll sit down, pour some tea, and taste the jam we made together.
쉽시네. 인제가 재밌으는데.
Each spoonful is a little celebration of summer, family, and those sweet memories we carry in every jar.